no better day. Saturday and Sunday, those are like the best days in the week. You wake up, you got a tourney to tune into. Just so good. Nerd blood everywhere, man. That's how you start every day. And just, man, especially starting out with Zowie gear and Seeking for Perfection, two just literally perfect teams. It's going to be such a good start. We got such a good game to start this off for you guys. And, thank you for tuning in. Got to give a shout out to you, all you viewers, tuning in and supporting the community.
Yeah, supporting the growth of the game is always definitely something always appreciated. So, Mr. 2, he's going to be running that engineer combo. Here we go, Seeking for Perfection right there, the double Seeker Pomp comp. I like how that actually comes out together.
That works out pretty well.
But Mr. 2, and this is actually new. I've never seen Crew run Reaver before. We're going to have to see what they can do up against this comp. I mean, it's not like it was a big secret they're going to be running the double Seeker, but we are going to get this going right now. Crew jumping in behind enemy lines. Mr. 2 trying to go head-to-head with Jolts. It does look like we are going to be trying to put some big pressure on him. Voodoo in the back, throwing out the heals. Good positioning there, not getting any kind of pressure. Ziant did get a good combo on top of him. He's already less than half health, but look at this. Jolts is going to be right there with Ziant and Crew. No, gets hit by the ice arrow, but he's going to be staying right there. Mr. 2 with the machine gun, not going to be the best idea because Nunia jumped right on him, but there goes the lockdown. The lockdown's not actually landing on top of Jolts, and Crew so very low right now. He's just really trying to do his best there, but Nunia is just not working the best right now. Low hit points across the board for this Warm team. Double cast goes out. Mr. 2 has dropped. Ziant not looking that great, but he did get that fear off onto Jolts. And Jolts is going to clean him up, no problem. That leaves Crew here somehow still alive. Well, not for too much longer. And we do have the first round being taken by the perfect team.
Yeah, the perfect team. And you have to notice that the positioning by Voodoo is really what matters there. He was up in the cut, off in that little nook up top, not getting focused at all. He had free reign to throw those spiritual links out to get those heals and, not under any kind of pressure. So he felt all right, throwing the other sides out onto his teammates. And that is really not what Zowie Gear wants. Zowie Gear being on the Warm team, these guys, they need to get that other side, but then they immediately need to swap to Voodoo, put pressure out onto Voodoo, because that's where the kill is going to come. Because, if she's just chucking out other sides onto Jolts and Nunia, they have so many key defensive abilities on top of that other side that, killing one of them is going to be very difficult. So, already, we got a good start coming out here. Warm team actually sitting pretty. Crew playing a little bit more back this round and working together with Mr. 2 to already, get the Nunia and Jolts down to 50% HP. So we're going to see how this turns out for them as they do have a pretty good start here. Lockdowns come out, and we may have some opportunities for big burst damage here as Voodoo going to go ahead and use that EX Spear. And that is going to work out for him quite well because Crew, just gets completely feared out. Roundhouse kicks come out, that little 2-second end cap onto Voodoo, going to put that much more pressure out. But Ziant under some decent pressure here. Nunia and Jolts both doing a good job. Marksmanship out from Nunia. There's going to be some good time, but the Drunken Brawler as well. Other side up in the nick of time, and the machine gun gets swapped. So this is not good for Warm team right now as Mr. 2 is sitting really low. Frost arrow out onto Ziant, but they get the kill onto Nunia. Great job by Warm team to take advantage of that slip up, and we have another lockdown coming out from Ziant. Great coordination out of these guys as Voodoo gets completely locked out, gonna get nailed with that Drunken Haze, and casting is gonna be such a hard time as Crew is there. Johnny on the spot with the space. Ooh, Drunken Brawler comes out to wrap it up once again, and this is what needs to happen. They need to be swapping targets constantly. As soon as the other side comes out, as soon as they see some of those defensive abilities, illusion, namely, go down, they have to put the damage out there. They have to perform together and coordinate together. And we really saw that round. That's what needs to happen for them to get a win in this situation.
It definitely worked out very well for them. You also noticed that Voodoo not doing as much healing as they did end that first round because there was a lot more CC going down with those lockdowns also coming out. It does look like every time we had a lockdown go down, we couldn't capitalize on it because of the fears or the incapacitates. But right now, Crew jumping over here to Jolts. Jolts getting the illusion off. They do pick up that rune. Mr. 2 is going to join the party. And now we do have Nunia has actually full health and just destroying Ziant at this point. He already has his ultimate ready to go. It's off and about, but Jolts has been taking a beating in the meantime. Voodoo again in the back, kind of sitting very pretty. Haven't seen the other side a bit, but a big combo going down onto Mr. 2. He's dropping. Ziant is still entertaining Nunia to a big degree. Oh, there we go. A good lockdown on top of Nunia. So we do just drop a little bit right there. The machine gun going out. Jolt's not looking so healthy. Mr. 2 gets the kill with the jump and the flamethrower right there. Voodoo has the Guardian Wings come out, but it's too late. Both Nunia and Jolts are now dead on the floor. So a 1 versus 3 battle here for this Pomp. She's going to try to take this, but you know, 1 versus 3. I don't care how good you are. I don't quite think it's going to work. Oh, no. Bad timing right there, but it doesn't matter at all. Mr. 2's team, this Zowie Gear team, takes the 3rd round.
Convincingly as well. You know, they were taking some good damage. You know, Zant tanking 316 that round. You know, Nunya doing a good job of just keeping the pressure on him. And it was really just Jolts and Voodoo not unable to capitalize on Mr. 2 and Crew. You know, Mr. 2 took a lot of damage. He got pretty low, but that machine gun forces Jolts, you know, to just try and dodge left to right, not able to put any damage and not able to wrap up that kill on him. So, you know, good use of abilities there by the Warm team. We're going to have to see if they can keep it together here as they are 1 round away from taking this map. So far, Crew, you know, putting some good pressure onto Nunya and Jolts, both of them getting pretty low right now. Other side has been used, but Jolts is pretty low right now. He has no abilities to get out of this situation. As the Ice Arrow comes out, Nunya with the marksmanship, though, he's really going to have to make something happen here to make up for this ground. As Jolts is getting so low, other side comes out once again, but he's at 10% HP. Nunya, oh, the illusion gets procced. Crew, what you doing? But he follows it up with the machine gun. Mr. 2 so good about landing that ability, and that is it. They are 2-3 right now, and Jolts is just going to get worked down from here. Blitz comes out with the lightning arrow, but he is so close to death. 1 hit from Crew, and there you go. He is out. We got the Nerd Blood on the floor, and these guys just doing such a solid job adapting their strategy with the giant Reaver right there in the foreground. It's all about adaptation. You know, they saw that, you know, they need to play a bit tighter. They can't have Mr. Crew, you know, Mr. Crew overextending like that at the start and splitting up the team. They have to stick together and they have to work together to really punish the use of illusion. You know, as soon as that's down, you know, you got to wait for other side, you got to wait for illusion, but as soon as that's down, they both need to be there. They both need to be doing damage for this to work.
I think we're actually just waiting on the stream. Cripples, come on, buddy. Come on back. Come on, Cripples. Anyways, we're going to wait for the camera to join us before we get the next game going, but we are up 1-0 now for Zowie Gear here in the round of 16 BeyondGaming Bloodline Champions Qualifying Cup number 3. So this is the 3rd or 4th cup, guys. Today we are going to crown another victor that is going to get fast-tracked right to those grand finals on June 4th for that $5,000 pot of cash. The titles, they are going to get in-game titles here, Semmler, so they're going to add that to their collection. And just like back in the beta, you know, we had all those custom titles go down for, like, you know, Season 2 Gladiator Champions, 2v2 Champions, that kind of fun stuff. But blood coins, gear, cash, it's all good. And we are about to get here going yet again. What did Crew pick? I think it's probably going to be the same with that Raver, but we're going to be on the Whale of Surgan this time. And again, we don't have any kind of change up here to either team. Seeking Perfection, they've apparently been MIA for about 3 weeks. I have a source here telling me that this is their first game together in about 3 weeks there, Semmler. And yeah, I think they're a little rusty.
No, that could be it. You know, it's like any game. It's like any top competitive game. You take any kind of time off, and once you're in that top, you know, 1% of the player base, any kind of mistake really matters. And you take a little bit of time off, you lose a bit of that killer's edge that you got going, and it's gonna cost you. You know, you make some mistakes that shouldn't have happened, that wouldn't have happened, you know, had you been at your prime. So we'll see if these guys can make up for that time off. You know, they're gonna get the juices flowing, and we're gonna get into the second map as you know. Zowie Gear, you know, this is what we were expecting out of them. 1-0 already, you know, in the running. As okay, you want me to take this first round?
Yeah, you're on a roll.
All right, go for it, go for it. As already, nice. Gonna have a Dragoon Strike by Mr. Crew get in there. Illusion is not proc, so Jolts is gonna be very vulnerable right now. I don't know if there is other side, didn't quite catch it, but in the meantime, Mr. 2 getting worked over by Nunya. Nunya is just going to work on Zan and Mr. 2. A lot of damage coming out here. Crew getting caught out. Jolt's gonna be able to punish, and this is not a good situation for Warm Team right now. Voodoo is sitting on a full ulti, gets feared away, but Mr. 2 caught in the Frost Arrow. Not gonna work at all. He is so low right now that Nunya and Zan doing an excellent job of keeping that pressure out there. Frost Arrow to Fire Arrow combo from Nunya, gonna kill Mr. 2, and that is not how you want to start this out. They cannot be getting split up like that, and allowing these Seekers to split them up is really gonna work into their favor. You know, you're gonna have Crew all alone, you know, 1v2 like we just saw. Jolts and Voodoo not gonna pass up on that opportunity. They're gonna punish him so hard for it. We already saw him down to 30, and Nunya is really the man of the hour here. You know, we're seeing him go 1v2 and coming out on top, just doing a great job getting that damage out onto Zant and Mr. 2. Mr. 2 was so low already right from the start, just because Nunya was keeping that insanity damage rolling.
Yeah, big differentials right there. 400 apiece for those Seekers, 200 apiece here for the Worm team. So, you know, just like last game, Seeking Perfection, they're going to take the first round here of this map. Now, they do have it all on the line. If they can't win this series, we're going to be saying goodbye to them. So they do have to keep that in mind as Mr. 2 is going to jump right in there with Crew. It does look like Jolts is being hit pretty hard, but the other side, not too bad. Use right there, but we do got that illusion go off. And no, we got big damage now going down on Mr. But he does have that machine gun, and wow, that actually landed pretty much every single shot right onto Jolts' face right there. And that's going to be a big advantage here in this second game, as we do have Voodoo having these that other side on himself. Nudia could be using that. Wow, okay, that Pomp just dying so very quickly. Nudia used the illusion, but it's not going to be enough. He is out of tricks in his bag, and boom, the Reaver going to be cutting him deep, as Zeant is going to be taking the top CPS of this round.
Zant monster, Mr. Crew, dude. He is such a beast at NG. You cannot give him any opening whatsoever, because as soon as he gets that machine gun, he is a master at knowing exactly when to use it. He knows everything that's happening on the field, and he is going to kill somebody with it if you leave him alone. So Nunya was trying to get the counter pressure out there, got a nice fire arrow, etc., but it just wasn't enough to stop that crazy damage coming out on Jolts. You know, it's too much to be dealt with. You can't let that happen. And right now, we have Seeking Perfection, you know, just trying to cut the field. They're landing those ice arrows. They're just trying to zone their the opponents as you know, they want to get that meter going. And already, you know, Jolt's sitting pretty at 60% meter. He is at the advantage as lightning arrow comes out on a Mr. 2. We're gonna have a little bit of pressure, but Nunya not there to capitalize. Excuse me. Nunya not there to capitalize as you know, they're just trying to stick together here. Crew going in with the Dragoon Strike, and he is down to 40%, but Zant not getting too much pressure. He is able to get some heals off. Lockdown is coming out. Mr. 2 sitting with the machine gun, and we have to see, can he make it happen right now? He needs to get some damage out as Jolts is down in the illusion. The fire arrow, the flamethrower comes out, and Mr. 2, you know, when are you going to use this ability? There it is, onto Jolts, but not too much damage. He's going to get healed up pretty quick because Guardian Spirit is out from Voodoo, and Voodoo just doing a lot of healing right now, not opting to try and do damage, get in a position to do damage. He is just trying to keep his teammates alive, as right now, Zowie gear is sitting low. You know, they are behind. Zant just trying desperately to get some heals off. Crew trying to get the Bloodline Medallion to get any kind of life lead back, as Nunya and Jolts are just sitting pretty, you know, way up there, 60% HP. We have the Drunken Brawler coming out, but Nunya gets other-sided in the nick of time, only takes one swipe off of that Beast Claymore. And, you know, once again, you know, this is looking very strong for Seeking Perfection right now. If they can just continue this zone game and keep Zant and Mr. 2 on their back feet, you know, Crew is getting those Bloodline Medallions off, so he is getting some real health back. But this is looking so good for Seeking Perfection right now. Voodoo once again with the Guardian, and this is, wrapping up as Crew, you know, Dragon Strike up to the top, perhaps not the best, was trying to land an in-cap on somebody there, get out of a tight spot, but that's not going to work as Mr. 2 gets cut off from Zant. Zant getting caught in that ice arrow, in-capped, not going to be able to get the heals out onto his teammate, and he's going to go down from pressure from Jolts. And, you know, this is what's happening here. If the match goes on, you know, Nunya and Jolts, they're not going to let any kind of mistake pass. The longer the match goes on, they are in they have the advantage because they are double ranged. You know, they're able to get that zone game up and make Mr. 2 and Crew both pay. Huge damage, huge health, you know, just trying to get into range on them. Mr. 2, of course, is NG, you know, so he does not have the highest range. He will lose that zone war. And, you know, of course, Crew playing the Reaver, he has to get into melee range. So this is where Seeker excels. He's got no weakness against melee bloodlines. He's able to go toe-to-toe with them. So if Crew is taking damage like entire time, he's trying to get in there to do damage, it's just not going to work out in their favor. We need to see something happen from Crew and Mr. 2 earlier on in the match before Jolts and Nunya get their, you know, get their momentum rolling.
So it does look like that Crew is actually saying hello to there to Jolts pretty convincingly. He gets shrunk there as we have a other side come out there onto Jolts, but he's been just kind of spamming everything from range, using his abilities to get in and get back out before any kind of big auto attack can come down. Mr. 2 is going to be joining the party, but that's going to leave Nunya hitting Zeant pretty much unfettered. They're in the back. Jolts is going to be jumping over here as well. Voodoo keeping extreme positioning. But look at that lockdown right there with the Crew down onto Jolts. There's just not enough healing. Oh, wow. Where's Nunya? Okay, no, Nunya didn't die. She's up there in the top. I guess he was also locked down as well. But we do have Nunya dropping bow very quickly. Voodoo not in range, and Nunya running away from his healer. Not the best of ideas, but great round right there from Crew, as well as Mr. 2 See, these guys just rhyme so much. It's great. But look at that,
It's
425 damage. All that poke there at the beginning just added up to a great combo kill there with the lockdown on top of Jolts. And it does seem to be that Jolts is the man that goes down first every time if the Seeking Perfection team is going to lose someone. So they're putting huge heavy pressure onto him.
Yeah, they're really punishing him, and it's really whoever is vulnerable, and Jolts does find himself in these positions where Crew and Mr. 2 can't capitalize, so he needs to work a bit on the positioning as he goes with an offensive illusion there, opting to go in close, and he is caught right now in a triangle as Crew and Mr. 2 going to work on him. He's going to be at 60% HP, and Crew gets a parry off, so this is really not looking good for Jolts. Mr. 2 and Crew just rushing him down right now. Lightning arrow comes out, but Crew is sitting pretty right now, not under any pressure. The machine gun comes out, but other side in the nick of time to stop it, and this is just not looking good for Seeking for Perfection. This is not what needs to happen as Crew is sitting on a drunken brawler, so when is he going to use it? There it is. Nice ice arrow by Nunya with the marksmanship out there, but in the meantime, Jolts goes down to pressure from Mr. 2 and Zant, and that is going to wrap this up. I cannot see Voodoo and Nunya coming back from this right now. The life bleeds are too different, and there we are, Zant and Crew getting that kill, and this is going to wrap it up, man. Zowie Gear, sponsored team, moving on into the next bracket.
A very good performance right there. Mr. 2 is bringing it out with his crew and Xanth there to go on to the quarterfinals. We will say goodbye today to Seeking for Perfection, who now will have, you know, at least, well, it's not a ranked loss, but I suppose they do lose every now and then. But yeah, their perfect record will stay intact, but they are not going to be moving on here. They are free to join, of course, next week, or maybe hit up that ladder, maybe if they want to play a little bit more consistently. And that will be that. So